Now, I think it's very fair to say that the past gets a negative rap these days. Like, if you catch anyone talking about their past, it's usually got some miserable sort of angle to it. And I think as human beings, we naturally look for new novel experiences that are going to add to our life portfolio. Whether that's going to that new American-style restaurant that is on the high street or going to see that new film at the cinema. Now, I say more than ever, returning to familiar experiences tends to be kind of seen as a bad thing. Like, this is inherent fear of the familiar. And this is the idea that because we've already experienced this thing once, that we know what to expect, so therefore it doesn't really have any added value returning back to it. But what if I was to tell you that this is not the case at all? Now, here are 3 ways that you can let go of the past. Now, the first one is visit places from the formative years of your life. No matter who you are on this planet, I think everyone goes through struggles in life. That is just something that is for certain unavoidable. Whether that's growing up in a broken family, getting bullied in school, or getting cheated on by your spouse, these things aren't unique. They actually happen quite often. However, as time passes, wounds start to heal and your beliefs actually change a little bit. So something that I like to do is actually visit places from my past from time to time. And what this does is help you see how far you've come and also the compound effect of your decisions. And it's fair to assume that you're probably going to be in a better place now than you were, I don't know, like 5 years ago. And you can also come to terms with the fact that struggle and pain is usually a temporary process. It's not going to last forever. And when you're returning to these places, why don't you go to somewhere that you haven't been? Like maybe do a bit of exploring and see where that gets you. And this brings us on to the next point, which is get in touch with old friends and family. A couple of years ago, when my dad passed away, I lost touch with quite a few friends and family members. I became quite distant, and I think that it's to no real fault of anybody, apart from the fact that life just got busy, you know, I got really busy. And in the midst of all this busyness, it sometimes distracts us from what is really important, and that is building good, healthy relationships. And this year, I've had a really big push to reach out to people that I haven't spoken to in years, or people that I feel like our relationships have diminished a little bit. And I can just single-handedly tell you that this is one of the best things I have ever done, honestly. And it's such a small thing to do, is reach out to these people. And there's a good reason why this is really valuable. And in 1973, there was a paper published by Stanford University and was created by Mark Granovetter. It was called The Strength of Weak Ties. And this paper has been at the forefront for years in how personal relationships are built. And very simply, humans have inner and outer circles in terms of relationships. Inner circle people are people that you see on a day-to-day basis every week or every other week. And outer circles are people that you see like every now and again, but very, very infrequently. But the thing is, the people in the inner circle weren't actually found to be as helpful to people as people thought. It was actually the people on the outer circles, the people that were labeled as weak ties, that actually provided infinitely more value. But why is this? It's because the outer circle people, although they were seen less frequently than the inner circle people, they had access to newer information and also different opportunities. And all this is because you don't keep up with them regularly. For example, you could be recommended by a friend for a job just because you caught up with them like over dinner that one time. And because of these weak tie relationships, you actually feel a lot happier because you're actually becoming part of people's lives again. You're expanding your social circles. You've got a real sense that you've got some good people around you. And entering someone's life again, this person might actually have missed you, but they didn't have the courage to reach out. So honestly, it's one of the best things you can do. And it makes me feel really happy, and it makes me feel really grateful and appreciative of having these people in my life again. And reconnecting with people that you have fond memories of, honestly, it makes your week, trust me. And just to finish this off, reflect upon your old beliefs and memories. I'm a strong believer that there's no such thing as a bad memory. Like if you do something that's scalding hot, like, the pain of that moment is gonna probably prevent you from doing that again. And there's a comfort in knowing that you're not gonna make the same mistake again, unless you're stupid. Don't be stupid. And when something traumatic happens, there's an adjustment period that happens where you slowly get used to the reality of the situation. And once you get past this patch of time, there's something called post-traumatic growth, which is where you end up in a much better place than where you originally were. This could be both physically and mentally, and it's always good to be in a better place than when you started. And I think what all this comes down to is deciding what beliefs you want to keep and which ones you want to chuck away. And this idea is kind of what is called the 80-20 principle, which is more or less the fact that most of the things that are conducive of your happiness and your sense of well-being and success are coming from a very small number of things. Like, a lot of things in your life aren't actually that important, and deciding which things are important is what's going to yield you the best result. Deciding these things in advance and cutting out all the other crap is what is going to help you out the most. This is like getting rid of all the old clothes in your wardrobe that you no longer want or wear, and is a good way to declutter yourself. Anyways, that is it for this week. If you like this, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.